We're live. Hi, welcome everyone to our live YouTube video. So this is Beth from Style at a Certain Age, and today we're going to talk about a very fun topic, and that is summer weddings. But I want to introduce my lovely co-host. This is my daughter-in-law, Kelly.
Hey everyone.
And as usual, please stop by, say hello. We have a chat set up in the sidebar. We can also answer questions if you have that, but grab an iced tea. Maybe you want, I'm drinking Topo Chico. Kelly, what are you drinking?
I have a little sparkling wine.
Sparkling wine, yeah. So it could be 5 o'clock in your part of the world. So anyway, so come join us. And as I said, say hello. And we will also talk about a couple of other things too. So we have a couple of different segments. So I'll just kick it off with what's going on over on the blog and over on Instagram. So YouTube is just one part of our I guess our digital presence out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the blog is full of style inspiration, and this week we shared a couple of things. I had a very fun post. It was what stylish grandmothers wear. So, and actually I had a YouTube video that talked about this too. So it's just one denim shirt dress, and I styled it 5 different ways. Because just because we're grandmothers doesn't mean that we've just faded off into the sunset as far as style is concerned. So we had that over the on the blog, and then I also shared how to look taller, slimmer, and even I know many of us don't want to look younger. I mean, I'm not really interested in looking younger, but I do want to stay relevant, and I do want to stay youthful looking. So they're just tips on that. Mm-hmm. And then what else do we have over on the blog?
Oh gosh, we have all kinds of things over on the blog. So in the afternoons, actually, you should always check over in the afternoons, or the next day you can check out the afternoon previous. We've got really great lifestyle content. So it's just really short, easy to get through blog posts that just are a lot of different things, from like how to organize your closet to what to pack on vacation to our beauty pics, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Home decor, all kinds of things.
Yes. So it's just in addition to all of the style and fashion inspiration that we share always in the mornings. So, and we post 7 days a week, style and beauty inspiration. We also have a beauty editor, Jennifer, who's amazing. And so she shares on Saturdays lots of great makeup tips and skincare for women of a certain age. So yeah, and over on Instagram, I don't really have anything too terribly exciting going on over on Instagram. So, yeah.
Well, I think we have reels. We often have like shop the collage type stories that go up in the afternoons. And then we do have our petite and regular reels on Sundays.
On Sunday,
so those are always fun. Yeah.
Right. And Kelly does have a segment over on Instagram every Thursday, and over on the blog too. So all of you petites out there, if you are interested in some style inspiration, Kelly always has a segment.
I do. Yep.
Which is really nice. And yes, and then our petite regular reel on Sunday. So yeah, so that's a little bit of housekeeping before we get into our topic today. But I mean, I cannot even believe it's not officially summer. That's I don't know, what day is it?
It's the 20th. The solstice is in 2 days on the 20th.
You.
Yeah.
I know, I'm really kind of I've been on BB duty, and BB is that's my name as grandmother. So I just got back this morning from Atlanta, and spending time with my new granddaughter. So I don't know what day it really is. So, but Memorial Day to me is always the official kickoff.
Yeah, I think everyone in America, anyways, recognizes that.
Right. So I've been thinking that it's summer, but I know officially it's not here. But summers are a really great time to have a wedding, and so many of us have lots of wedding invitations in our mailbox or our emails or however people are sending their invitations these days. Although here's an interesting thing, because we have our photographer, Jess, who we work with quite regularly, and she's actually become a dear friend of ours, but she was strictly a wedding photographer for a long time, but she always says that in Georgia, because it's so hot, not that you don't have weddings, but that's really the slower time.
Yeah.
Where I know in other parts of the country and other parts of the world, summers are when weddings are, right and left. So,
yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, here it's too hot. If you want to have an outdoor wedding, you better do it in the fall or the spring, I think, probably.
Yeah, Kelly was just saying that we might have 100-degree temps next week.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'm not ready for that.
Yeah,
I'm not ready
either.
for that. But anyway, we're going to talk about weddings. So, and I know there are always a lot of questions about dress code because there's lots of, there's destination weddings these days, so you could be having a beach wedding, or you could be having like even a mountain wedding this time of year because it's hot here. So you might want to go to the mountains. So destination weddings, we still have very formal weddings. We still have kind of backyard
black tie,
weddings.
backyard.
Yeah. So lots of different things to think about when it comes to weddings. So, and we do always in the springtime. We always do a really big wedding segment over on the blog.
Yeah, it's a lot of spring and kind of kicking off wedding season, at least in the South dresses. So we do that, and we usually shoot that, or at least we have the last couple of years at a very nice resort at a lake town nearby us, and so it's a very lovely setting and sets the mood for sure for enjoying wearing a lovely dress or a lovely outfit, and so yeah.
Right, because there's nothing worse than, I don't know, you ladies can tell me, but I just hate it when I have like a big special occasion coming up and then I'm scrambling for a dress because I don't like anything in my closet, or it's not, it doesn't fit the occasion. So it's really kind of nice to just kind of be prepared and have a few things in your closet. So we try to come along and help with that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of the things that we tend to gravitate toward and recommend and show on the blog especially, and on YouTube too, are things that are somewhat timeless and that they're not going to go out of fashion from year to year. So nothing super trendy, nothing that is too over the top that you can't, change it up with maybe different accessories for whichever year you're wearing it. But it's like the idea of having a little black dress. It's an investment piece that you can kind of go back to.
And use wear, not use, but wear year after year, which is nice. Yeah. So do we have any... did anyone stop by to say hello yet? If you haven't, please stop by and say hello.
Yeah, we do have a ciao from Sicily, so that's awesome.
Ciao!
Sicily, always wanted to go there. Hopefully someday.
Well, you know what? Last year I was on a Mediterranean cruise, and we were supposed to stop in Sicily, but the weather was so rough. It was the Windstar line, so they're not really big ships. They're not tiny, but they're not big. So we can. That line can be impacted with the weather. Yeah. So I didn't get to see Sicily, and I was so disappointed. So anyway, ciao. Thanks for stopping by. Anyone else?
That's it so far.
All right. Well, as I said, please stop by and say hello, where you're from. If you have a question, let us know too. And before we get into summer weddings, I just wanted to talk about, we have 2 big events right around the corner in July, which I can't believe it's July, right around the corner. But Nordstrom anniversary sale is coming up hot and fast, and so we will have a lot of coverage for that. We always go and spend the day shopping, and then we decide what we want. We have like try-on sessions and things like that. So think about that, and then also Amazon Prime Day. Yeah. And it's 4 days this year, so it's double.
Oh my gosh, is it really?
It's double.
Wow.
It's double the trouble.
We're gonna have our work cut out for us. Yeah. Wow.
Well, and the funny thing is they simultaneously
overlap with the Nordstrom anniversary sale. So.
I know. So yeah, it's a crazy time of year for us. But anyway, so I did just want to mention that. And as I said, BB life is in full swing for me. So I've had lots of baby time the past few days, and so but it's back to work. So here I am. So let's kick it off. So how do you want to do it? Do you want to like go back and forth?
Yeah, we can. We can just go. Let's do your picks, then let's do my picks. But before we get to that, I just want to say that Jane from Fairhope, Alabama, says hello.
Hello, Jane.
So, hi, Jane.
Roll Tide, being in from Alabama. I'm sure you went to, or I'm sure you cheer for them. Maybe you didn't go to Bama, but the Crimson Tide, arch enemies of the Georgia Bulldogs. But anyway, hello, and thanks for stopping by.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So we have photos, and we also have links. I do want to remind everybody, we link everything in the description box. YouTube also has the links like in the video itself, but if you're wondering where to shop, all of that is just down below. So feel free to to take a look. But I'm going to start off with this floral tiered maxi dress, and this was such a huge hit. So I had this over on the blog, and it was one of our, I think it made like one of our favorites for several
it definitely
weeks.
did.
It's
a very beautiful dress.
It's a beautiful dress, and I love dresses like this because yes, it's sleeveless, but you could get just a beautiful wrap to put over the top if you feel uncomfortable about showing your arms. But it does give you a lot of coverage because it has really nice, the straps are very wide.
Right.
So, I mean, I have a couple of dresses where you do need special bras and things like that, but this one you don't. So this one you can just put on. You don't have to, I mean, it skims your body, so you don't have to, have that Spanx type, shapewear to, to help suck in or do anything like that. And it's just a very vibrant, beautiful color.
Yeah.
And I really loved this dress.
Yeah, I really like the tiered aspect of it because it gives a flowiness to the dress, which is always so nice when you go to a wedding to have something that moves with you and that you can
on the dance floor.
Yeah, you can dance in it, and if it's an outdoor wedding, you've got maybe a nice breeze, hopefully, that can kind of just add to the drama of the dress. So that's really nice.
Yeah, and then you can bring in, I mean, your accessories. You can go in a wide variety of ways because of the color scheme.
Right.
Because it brings in just a lot of different colors.
Right.
So there again, I highly recommend this dress. So many people loved it when we shared it on the blog. So so that's my first pick. And then the next one, I really like this one too. And this is funny because sometimes when I order things online, sight unseen, I'm not really sure.
Right.
I mean, it looks good, but you just never know how it's going to look when you put it on. And when I pulled it out of the package, I'm like, I kind of don't think that this is going to really look very good. I don't know why. But when I put it on, completely changed my mind.
Yeah.
And this also became one of our top sellers over on the blog, and I can see why.
Yeah.
The only thing is that that I think could, maybe make people hesitate are the spaghetti straps.
Yeah, but so this is a tiered navy dress, so it's works very well with anything that you want to put with it. And I do think that the straps are skinny, however, the neckline is high.
I know.
So it kind of it has a halter sort of look and feel. Very easy to wear a strapless bra underneath this, and and not worry too much about having too much exposure on your chest or anything like that. So I think the spaghetti straps could be forgiven with the high neckline.
And it comes in other colors besides navy, but I do love just the timeless style. I also love the timeless color, and there again, you can bring in accessories in so many different colors and I mean whatnot. So so this was definitely, take a look at this, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised like I was. And it comes with a self-tie belt. So, and I did keep that for this dress, but you could easily exchange it.
Mix it up for something else.
You could easily mix it up, yes. So, and then I paired it with, you all know, I mean, if you've followed the channel for any length of time, you know I love to share. I mean, metallics work as a neutral.
Yeah.
They really do. So whether that's gold, whether that's silver, or it could even be a bronze. I mean, when in doubt, I will 9 times out of 10 go with the metallic.
Yeah.
So,
well, the nice thing about navy, too, is that you could go with gold or silver. Or you could go with rose gold. I mean, you can go with all the metallics with navy because it's just going to go with everything. So it's very easy to, coordinate your accessories.
But I love these. So this is a top handle handbag. This is from the Nordstrom anniversary, so I think like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago,
And I love it, and still get so many compliments. We have something very similar linked down below. So I chose that, and then just a pair of little strappy sandals. They're silver as well, so just makes it really easy breezy, but beautiful. Again, timeless.
Yeah.
Look, for weddings. So you could pull this out of the closet year after year if you have weddings every year, which I know some people do. So
It's true. It's true.
With all that, yeah. So I have that, and then I think we're both sharing this because we've shared this dress 2 gazillion times over on the blog and elsewhere. But it's still in stock, and it's really a very flattering dress. And this is from Talbot's, and it's an eyelet. It's Red Eyelet. And there again, I think you had picked this out. I think we did a segment on petites and regulars. And you
did.
Yes, and you had picked this out. And I was, there again, I was like, oh, because it had a elastic waist. And I was like, oh, I just don't know if that's, going to look so good on me.
Yeah.
And, blah, blah, blah. But put it on, boy, did I like it.
Not only that, I mean, I think part of what makes it so likable when you see it on yourself is that it actually feels really comfortable. So I think, we can talk ourselves into feeling good in something, or we can talk ourselves into something looking good if we feel good in it, even if, or vice versa. So like, with something like this, like I might not have chosen this dress if I was at Talbot's, like in the store. But the fact that we ordered it and I felt compelled to try it on because, it came to the house and everything. And then you try it on and you realize, oh my gosh, this feels so good. And then you realize, actually, this looks pretty good too. So you really can influence how something looks on your body when it makes you feel really good. And I think that that's one of the things about fashion that we're often, or puts us off towards certain things or puts us on towards other things that might not actually be that great. It can go both ways, but this dress actually is a really great dress. And I feel like, and I can actually talk about this a little bit more when I bring this up when I'm wearing it, but I think one of the things about this dress that I really like is that it can go very casual.
Yes.
And then it can also go more dressy. Yes. And because it's cotton, it really has that versatility. And the length of it makes it work for, more fancy occasions. But the overall fabric and the eyelet makes it work for very casual occasions too. So.
But yes, so this dress really gets 5 stars from me. And we do have a very casual vibe in the world today. So if you're still thinking, oh gosh, where am I going to wear this dress? I mean, not only can you wear it to a casual wedding, I think you'd be perfectly appropriate, but you could just be wearing this to errands, or if you have, lunch with the girls or things like that. It's a very versatile dress, and I like that.
It's a great brunch dress. Also, do you think, just real quick, speaking of casual weddings, do you think that since COVID, like backyard weddings have gotten way more popular? Like, do you think people like kind of trying to spend less on weddings has become a trend in recent years?
I think that was the case like right after COVID, but I think we're kind of headed back into
fancy.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we stuck with. I kind of wish we stuck with the like being creative and kind of small about your wedding being a thing, because honestly, those intimate gatherings where nobody has the pressure of, wearing a black tie or something. Like, those are definitely nice weddings, and we've been to a few lately that have been really great, and I would not exchange that for the world. But there is something very special, I think, about a very intimate setting where you can wear, a cotton eyelet dress and feel completely dressed appropriately.
Right.
And
I agree. So. Yes, and I do. I think right after COVID, I think we were in this era. I think people were just like so thrilled to be able to get married because so many weddings were put on hold. I mean, I remember one of Andrew's friends. I mean, Zach. They were good friends and from college on, and they had to postpone their wedding not once but twice.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, because they lived in New York City, so it was just
I mean,
they were just like, let's get this show on the road. They just wanted to get married, but I do think that they're starting to go back to being all these big affairs again that are put a lot of stress on. They put a lot of stress on everybody.
I mean, a big wedding is really great and it's fun for everyone and it's beautiful and stuff, but in the end, It can be rough, it's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
So
I mean, that's one of the things. And now, so here's an interesting thing. I mean, things have changed so much, but I think the average age of people getting married these days is like in their 30s. So I do know that a lot of parents still chip in and pay for things, but I do know that many brides and grooms help pay for their own wedding. So because they are older.
Well, yes. I mean, I not only Alex and myself, but also just 3 weddings that I've been to in the last few years. They put off their wedding for years to save up for that, to pay for all of it themselves, which, I think it's great and all of that. And it's just kind of what you have to do unless you want to go all out or you have the funds to be able to do that, which I think a lot of us probably don't.
Right, or elope.
Or elope.
Or elope.
Elope, and then just have a party afterwards.
Yeah.
Which is actually not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
So really quick, before we move on.
Yeah.
We have a hello from the Netherlands. I love your videos. Thank you, Rossi or Rosie. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for saying hello.
And then we have Jane chiming in that we both look great in red. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, that's very sweet.
Yeah, it's time to pull out all the color. I love color in the summertime. I do.
I stayed away from red for a really long time. I'm not sure exactly why, but I always was under the kind of assumption that the olive color of my skin didn't work that well with red. Same thing with yellow. I've gotten over all of that.
Good.
Absolutely, for sure.
Right?
But there was a long time in my life where I avoided certain colors because of my skin tone, and I just would encourage everyone who might still be doing that, don't do that anymore. It's so much fun to wear color.
It is. And experiment too, because there's such a wide spectrum of colors. You know, they go from cool to warm. All colors do. So even pinks, you know, which really most people think is a cool color, which it is. But if you go down that spectrum, you can definitely have a warmer pink, or you know, whatever.
You can definitely play around. There's a lot of variation and tone.
Yeah,
so
I do. So
all right.
Well, I think I have one more dress I'll talk about, and then I'll hand it off to you. And this is a beautiful dress, although it was hilarious over on, when I first introduced this over on Facebook, someone said that this looked like a toga.
There's nothing wrong with that, actually. I kind of feel okay about that.
I thought it was like more of a Grecian goddess look.
Okay,
the dress.
Same diff.
The dress. I know, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, they did not mean it in a positive way, so I thought that was pretty funny. But it's a beautiful dress. So one shoulder, there again, you do need special lingerie. I always recommend the Wacol red carpet bra.
Yeah, that one's a great bra.
For the strapless. And then it also comes with straps, so you can configure it in a lot of different ways too. So, but this is, there again, outside of the bra, you don't need any other special lingerie because it doesn't touch you anywhere. It's very flowy. It's very feminine. It's just very, I don't know. There's just something about it, and I just love that blue color.
I was going to say that's my favorite part about that dress is that that beautiful blue. It's like ocean blue. It's such a pretty color. I love it. Yeah, it's a standout.
Yeah. So anyway, so those are my picks, my recommendations for summer wedding dresses, and I'm going to hand it off to you. So what do you have?
So I have a few that I have on my list but haven't actually worn, and then I have a couple that I have worn, and one of them you just saw, the Red Eyelet dress. But the first one I'm going to start off with is a dress from Banana Republic Factory. It's the scoop neck midi dress. And I have to tell everyone that, like, you know, I'm all for plunking down a chunk of money on a dress, or, you know, something that is either, you know, very, very for a special occasion, or something that I know I'm going to get to wear a lot. But there's also really something to be said for being able to find a very reasonably priced dress that looks like it costs a lot more than it did, and actually feels like it costs a lot more than it did. And Banana Republic Factory is really good at doing this. In fact, there was a photo that we showed a bit ago where the first dress that Beth was talking about, and I was wearing a pink you know, tie neck halter dress. That was from Banana Republic Factory. I think it cost like $70. Very reasonably priced.
And they're well made too.
Very well made.
They're factory.
And it was actually chiffon. Like, it was a very
clothes
beautiful thing.
But I think I think Banana does a really good job.
They do a really good job. I would say that of the factory stores, when it comes to like dressing for finer occasions, they do a very good job at you know, having fabrics that look like they should and feel like they should, and all of that for a very good price point. So I really do like this scoop neck midi dress. I love the kind of peachy rose color of it. Beth, you can't really see it, but I can show you.
Thank you.
So it's just a very simple dress, very flowy. It's got a nice long length to it. These come in petite sizes. That's another thing about the factory stores. They often have more petite stock than other stores do.
Banana Republic itself does a pretty good job.
They
with
do.
petites,
They do.
Or at least they used to back in the day.
They do. It's a little bit more hit or miss now than it used to be, I think. And I will actually go to factory before I go to Banana Republic for dresses. Because they typically just have more on offer. So this dress, what I like about this is that you can just wear it very unadorned, very simply, like it is in the photo here, and wear it with sandals, and it's a very great backyard beach wedding type of thing. But then you can also zhuzh it up with like a nice, statement belt or something, some jewelry, and actually really dress it up quite a bit. So I really like this dress for that, and it does come in a few other colors. The next thing that I wanted to mention is actually, this is a twofer, and last year we went to a very dear friend's wedding, and I wore a velvet suit. It was in the fall, so that was appropriate. And it was the first time I ever wore a suit to a wedding, because I always thought of weddings as like my time to like put on a nice dress or whatever, but when I decided to wear this suit to the wedding, I felt so like energized and confident wearing a suit. I don't know, it was really great.
It's a beautiful suit too.
It really is.
Yeah.
But I thought, why can't you do that in the summertime too? So I found this linen blend herringbone blazer and the linen blend herringbone shorts.
Oh, shorts. Oh, I have to take a look at it.
Okay, well, there it is.
Oh, that's super cute.
Okay, so this is super cute, and the blazer has like ruched sleeves, so it kind of gives that immediate, summertime kind of look, relaxed, rumpled look to it.
Relaxed, shake.
But I love the idea of this, and I realize that shorts might be not perfect for every venue, but if you're going to an outdoor wedding that's in the afternoon, or a beach wedding, or a backyard wedding, I think this is completely appropriate for summer 2025, especially if you wear some beautiful metallic heels and have a nice handbag and have some nice statement jewelry. Like, I think this is
suits.
And it's going to stand out, and you're going to get compliments. I couldn't believe how many compliments I got at Annalisa's wedding with that suit.
The suit, yeah. It's a beautiful suit. But I love...
It's just unexpected.
I love short suits. I do. I think they're very sharp. I think they're very chic and very of the moment.
I agree. I agree. And I was thinking then that what I would maybe put with this is just a very nice, feminine, flowy top. So I found this beautiful top from Lily Silk. This is a halter top.
Ooh.
And it's just a really beautiful print that, kind of goes with, I mean, you could always go with a solid, of course, but if it's summertime and you want to feel a little bit breezy, a nice print is really great. And so it is the, Lily Silk halter top. And, I don't know, I feel like a suit gives you so much variety. I mean, you could wear this to more than one event throughout the summer and just change up your top and your accessories.
That's right. Dress it up, dress it down.
Yep.
And then they're separate, so you can take the blazer and wear it with other things. And then also, too, a style tip that I like to recommend when you're wanting to look very dramatic is you just drape your blazer over your shoulder, and that beautiful silk halter top would be the perfect way to wear it.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun too, because if you if you want to sort of play into the bride and groom's color scheme for their wedding, you can choose a top that might fit in with that for photos and different things like that. So you really have a lot more fun when you're working with separates to kind of mix and match how you go. So I love the idea of wearing a short suit for a wedding.
Yep, I love it too.
And then, okay, so just really quickly, I had this Maeve strapless A-line midi dress. This is number 5. And this dress I actually wore for a photo shoot, and I absolutely love this dress so much. It is the cutest dress, and it fits.
Which one is it? That's not the gingham one, is it?
It is the gingham one.
The gingham, yeah.
Yeah.
So cute. I really like that a lot.
The smocking, okay, so it's got a smocking bodice or a smocked bodice, and it was very comfortable to wear. It kind of has, the pattern is not just printed, it's actually a ribbon going through the fabric. So it feels very luxe, it feels very chic and very, very fancy. But it was, a perfect length, so it's just below my knees. And it does come with a strap, so you can actually have it be strapped, or I think you can configure the strap to be halter if you want to, but it definitely comes with straps. Just a very easy dress to wear, and a muted color palette, but that feels really perfect for summer. So it's got like kind of a light pink, a light green, and then a brown sort of stripe running through it. So that's a really fun dress. And I styled it more, it could go both ways. It could be a little bit more fancy, could be casual. I wore these beautiful clogs from Cezanne that are, I think, still available. They're suede. And then just a really nice clutch from J. McLaughlin.
And this is from Anthropology, isn't it?
It is, yeah. This is from Anthropology.
Which is very affordable.
Not only is it affordable, but the Maeve selection for petites is incredible.
Is it?
Like, it's really my first shop for any kind of petite thing I'm looking for. I always go to Maeve at Anthropology first.
Nice.
to look for something specific. And if I'm going for an occasion, it's always where I go first.
Okay.
Because they really do have a robust petite collection. Yeah.
So all of you petites out there, if you have a question for Kelly, we'll have a Q&A at the end. We already have some questions that people have sent in, but we are more than happy to answer your questions too. And I know petites really have a lot of questions. So if you have one for Kelly.
Yeah, please reach out. Just send it in the chat. I'm reading these. And I will share one more thing really quick. And it's really just me sharing the picture of me in that eyelet halter fit and flare dress. So this is number 6. The one that Beth and I both have and wore together. So just so you can see how it fits on a petite, or how the petite sizes work from Talbot's, which is always a great place to shop for petite dresses, pants.
And for reference, Kelly, you are?
I'm 5 feet, and I weigh about 105 pounds.
And you wear a size?
I wear a size extra small petite or a 0 petite, typically.
Okay, and I'm 5'8", and then size 8, and that hardly ever varies. I mean, every once in a while I will size up or down, but I'm an 8 across the board in most brands. So
yeah.
So anyway.
And typically I think for me too, it rarely varies, but sometimes I will read comments on a petite sized thing, and if people say it runs a little small, I might get a petite too, just to try and see.
And see if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there again, highly recommend that dress. It's just been a top seller for many, many, many weeks.
Yes, so. And I think I just featured this on the blog either today or yesterday. But we do keep bringing some of these things back because they're still available and they're still relevant and they're still perfect for summer, even though we featured them in the spring.
Yeah.
So let's take a pause really quick. All right, so we have Wendy from the UK. She very much enjoys the posts.
Hi, Wendy. Thanks for stopping by today.
She's 68 and she really enjoys trying to look as smart as she can.
Right.
And so we're inspiring. That's so awesome. Thank you.
We don't turn to dust. Just once we hit a certain age, we just don't do that. So, yeah.
And so we have Tracy saying hello, Beth and Kelly. We're happy to see you too. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Do we know where Tracy's from? Did she say?
She doesn't say.
Okay. Well, hi, Tracy, and thanks for stopping by.
Yes, and then she also says, Kelly girl, that's a great looking outfit on someone who has the body for it, super chic. I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but I'll have to take your word for it, and thank you very much.
I bet it's a gingham dress.
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah, which is so cute.
I love that dress so much. I'm just dying to wear it again. So
if it's going to be 110 next week, you can
wear it out to dinner for date night or something. So we have Redhead on the ranch. Hey y'all, I'm a little late joining in today. Live may have already ended. Hasn't actually. You're still here with us.
Yep.
Love the styling of the denim dress. Beth Kelly, your floral top is beautiful. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah. This is actually from Frances Valentine.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Oh, Tracy is from Texas.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Tracy. I lived in Texas twice, as a matter of fact. Once I was first married, and Alex was born there in El Paso, Texas, and then we lived in Houston, Texas for 5 years, and that's where Andrew and Christian were born. So I love Texas.
Texas, you've got a lot of Texas time. Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to go? So we have like different segments here. We can go into what's in our cart, but since we were just talking about clothes and things like that, I thought we would go to our lifestyle segment, which is we can talk about books. I mean, I'm a big reader, and Kelly loves television shows and movies. You're really quite the aficionado, so I thought we could just maybe hop into that. We could. However, all of the things in my cart right now are accessories for dressing up your outfits.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, we can just jump to that really quick. All the things that I've got in my cart right now are things that I am very much looking forward to bringing home with me, actually, because I feel like a lot of these items are perfect for dressing up any kind of outfit. So I'm really talking about accessories and metallic shoes and accessories. So the first thing that I have on my list is this J. Crew Factory Gold Stretch Waist Belt, which I feel like I can't have too many stretch belts in my collection, and I don't have a gold one. So I saw this at J. Crew Factory, and because I feel like a gold stretch belt is not something I'm going to wear far beyond summer, like spring, summer, and fall. Like, it's one of those items that you wear it infrequently enough that even if it's from a factory store like J. Crew, it's something you can still keep in your closet for a really long time because you're not going to wear it out necessarily, I don't think personally. As long as you care for these things from these factory stores, they will actually last you a really long time. I have shoes from J. Crew factory from like 10 years ago that I can still wear and they look beautiful. So care for them, and you wear them seasonally and they tend to last. The other thing that I have on my list is this jeweled woven clutch. So this is perfect for summer. So this is also from J. Crew factory. And I love just something that fits in with the season. Like it's spring, it's summer, everybody's doing woven, accessories. And this just has a little bit of detail on it that's perfect for taking to a wedding because it's got these little jewels, little crystals that are sewn into it. So I feel like
do you think that some of these would go at the wedding dresses?
Oh, definitely. This is 100% why these are in my cart right now, because I'm thinking about weddings and accessorizing for more upscale events or, special occasions and things like that. So I saw this clutch and I thought, oh my gosh, I love that because it's woven and casual yet just sparkly enough to kind of lend itself to a special occasion. So I love that. And then really quickly, I do want to talk about, so these aren't in my cart anymore because I actually bought them and I'm featuring them on the blog tomorrow. So these are the J. Crew factory woven heeled sandals. This is number 4 on my list. And I got these shoes a couple months ago and I've worn them a few times on the blog. I'm featuring them tomorrow because they really are like a perfect block heel to wear for anything. It really dresses up any outfit. You can wear them with pants like I'm doing on the blog tomorrow. You can wear them with a dress to dress up your outfit. But the block heel really makes them comfortable, and the upper is made of, they're a faux leather, so it's like a polyurethane, which makes them almost like a jelly shoe, which makes them actually really comfortable because it seems like that woven upper might not give very well, but actually it's very soft and pliable. So I personally found these shoes to be incredibly comfortable, and I think the day that we shot tomorrow's blog shoot, it was like 89, 90 degrees, and they felt great. I wore them all afternoon, and super comfortable. So these shoes I feel like are great for weddings, great for just dressing up your day-to-day summer outfit.
And since they're from J. Crew factory, I mean, all these items it's very affordable.
Totally affordable.
Very affordable.
Totally affordable. And then I don't know, just really quickly, I'm not a big jewelry person. I don't wear jewelry much at all ever, but when I do, I'm typically not spending a lot of money on it because I don't I've just never been a jewelry person. And so if I want to have a piece of jewelry, I'm going to, spring for something that is looking very cute, looking very chic, goes with things that I have, but isn't costing me a fortune. It's not an investment piece. So I do have quite a few things from J. Crew and J. Crew factory. And I thought that this chunky chain pearl toggle bracelet, so this is number 6 on my list, was a really cute statement bracelet that if you're interested in just adding something to your jewelry, I think that's the necklace. Also very cute. They do make, I think the other thing that I really like about the factory stores for their jewelry is that they do make items that go together really well. So for pairing, like if you want to just have a matching jewelry set for a specific event or just to add to your collection to mix and match with other pieces, they do make things that really do mix and match well. So as far as affordable yet chic, classic style jewelry goes, I have no problem going to J. Crew factory.
Yeah, they do a very good job. They do. And I have a couple things in my cart, so I'll talk about a couple of them that do tie back to the wedding. And this is actually for those tricky dresses that we could have, those special occasion dresses. So this is from Spanx, my go-to shapewear company. Although Honey Love is actually very good. I featured them over on the blog, and I featured them over on YouTube recently, and really had a lot of thumbs up from that.
Yeah.
So, but Spanx, they're just very tried and true. So this is, so they call it a fancy plunge low back mid-thigh bodysuit. So it's covering a lot of areas, but I really like that because it has a very low back, and then also has a very, has a plunging front. So because we do have those dresses where you may need that. So
this is a fantastic piece. Even if you don't feel like you enjoy wearing shapewear, I have one of these, and I have to say, like, it just really, like, it just makes everything that you might be wearing smooth on top of it. It just feels that much better. I'm definitely an advocate of that.
And that's what I like about Spanx. Yeah, they just smooth all those lumps and bumps that we don't want showing, especially if we have like a more form-fitting dress, which could happen, with a special occasion. So definitely take a look at that. And then I have Merit Beauty Flush Balm. So this is their blush, and I'll be partnering with Merit again in July, and so I got a new color of their blush. But I love the application. So it's just like a little round ball in a container, or I guess
it's like a little pot.
Yeah,
but
like
the
a little
ball,
pot.
But
the dome.
I have it in the bathroom. I should have gotten it.
Well, anyway, it's just so easy to apply, and it's also a cream blush, which I highly recommend for women of a certain age, because it's just more, it just gives you that really dewy glow. So I have a new color coming along. So again, highly recommend that. Merit Beauty Flush Balm.
Do you feel like the cream blush stays on better than powder blush too? Just as I
don't know if it necessarily, I mean, because one of my go-tos is NARS Orgasm, and I've never felt
that's
that.
A powder.
Yeah, and that's a powder. And I've never felt that like comes off or wears or doesn't wear well. But I just honestly I reach for cream blushes 9 times out of 10 these days. I mean, even though I will always love NARS, I mean, it's just such a great color and it looks beautiful on everybody, but I like cream blushes. Yeah, and I really love Merit, and I know you do too.
I do. I just really like the idea that because I come over to Beth's home for all of the photo shoots and like this YouTube lives and things that we do, I'm always toting my makeup bag with me. So having items that like the Merit blush, where I can just throw it in the bathroom and unscrew it and tap 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 just before we start something, a photo shoot or whatever. It's so much easier, and I don't feel like I have to have all these tools and things that need cleaning and, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So,
Very uncomplicated. Yeah. It is, definitely. And then I have, so this is from Amazon. So this is a pearl clutch. So, and it has a little chain that goes with it. So you can make a little crossbody bag, or you can just, carry it as a clutch, because the chain you can easily tuck inside your, the handbag itself. And I just always think it's really nice just to have a special evening handbag when you do go to weddings and special occasions.
Oh, I really like that bag. It's really
cute?
Sweet. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks very high end. And I like how it
the clasp is very nice. Yeah,
it's very beautiful,
elegant.
So anyway, so I highly recommend that. And then if you're looking for some really great, so this is a travel size, but they also have in regular size. So Paula's Choice, one of my favorite skincare brands, and so this is her BHA liquid exfoliant, and it works like a dream. It's really good.
Yeah.
So, and then this is a travel size, so if you're traveling to your wedding destination, you can just easily put it in your bag. So that's what I have in my cart this week.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. And so do we have anyone else that stopped by to say hello?
We don't really. Let me see. Let me take a look. So we have Rebecca Smith. Love some of your styles.
Hi,
But
Rebecca.
some of the clothes are expensive.
They are.
They are sometimes. But I will say also, Rebecca, I don't know when you tuned in, but part of what I talked about quite a bit is shopping for clothes at factory stores. And so Banana Republic Factory is a go-to of mine for occasion wear. Also J. Crew Factory for accessories and jewelry. So those are very reasonably priced, very easy to kind of wrap your head around styles and price points. So maybe if you tuned in late, maybe watch this video again after we post and it's finished up, and you can check out some of those recommendations.
Right, and we do our best to cover a lot of different price points.
We do.
But one of our pillars over here at Style to a Certain Age is I believe in investing in yourself and investing in your clothes. So maybe that means less clothes and more expensive that are going to last longer.
Sure.
But there again, we try to cover the gamut because everybody has a different budget. So we do try to keep that.
We do.
in consideration. But anyway, so thanks for stopping by. So anything else?
We do. We actually we have one more here.
Uh-huh.
Cute clutch. Oh, so the pearl clutch. I'm assuming. Hi from Norway. All right,
Hello, Norway. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great. Okay. Well, we'll quickly go into our lifestyle picks. So there again, we have, it's kind of loosey-goosey here, but we're kind of formatting the lives into different categories. So I love to read. Kelly, I love to watch TV too, but Kelly is.
I definitely like to watch TV more than you.
You're a great critic when it comes to TV, and as I said, I love to read. So actually, what I'm reading right now, and since I have been back and forth, I listen to books a lot. Audio, Audible is my membership, but audiobooks, I love that. And now that I've been going back and forth from Atlanta, I'm getting even more book time in. But I've been reading. It's called This Paris Secret by Natasha Lester, and I love it. So it has dual timelines. So the modern timeline is set in Australia.
Okay.
And then they go back in time to World War II. This has been kind of a popular way to write books recently. So it goes back to World War II, Christian Dior, his sister being, in basically a spy in France. And so anyway, I highly recommend it. It's kind of a slow burn. It starts off very slow, I felt. It's not one of those books that, just like hooks you and then, you're off and running. It's definitely gets paced out well, but if you stick through, the opening chapters they're lovely, but they're just not like action packed. The action really kind of starts mid-book when things get very interesting.
Yeah.
During World War II. So
that storyline, or at least the Christian Dior part of it, reminds me of that television show on Apple TV called The New Look.
Right.
I don't know if any of y'all watched that, but that is a fantastic show that is really diving into the story behind Christian Dior and his sister, who, yes, was a spy and then also did get caught.
That's right. So, but what I did like about this book, outside of, delving into history and then fashion history and World War II, but it has some really great women protagonists that are strong but yet vulnerable, and I really like. So this author is called Natasha Lester. So anyway, The Paris Secret, highly recommend.
Oh, I like it.
No, The Secret, The Paris Secret.
Yeah, The Paris. Secret.
The Paris Secret. Yep. So Kelly, what are you talking about this week?
Oh gosh, well it's a TV show, as per usual. So recently I binge watched the entire first season of a new television show on Netflix called Department Q. So this is actually the showrunner and the writer, and I think he directed most of the episodes, if not all of them, is a man named Scott Frank. And he's actually responsible for a couple of other shows that I really love. One of them was called Godless, which I don't know if you saw. That was another Netflix limited series with Michelle Dockery, which is so great to see Michelle Dockery as someone other than Lady Mary. So that was really fun. But he also did The Queen's Gambit, which I think you probably saw that one.
Excellent.
And then he also did Monsieur Spade, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm very interested in watching that, and that's now on Netflix. But however, Department Q. So this is based on a book series, and it follows a detective named Carl Mork, and he's a British man. He's actually English, but lives in Scotland, and so he works for the Scottish police department.
Okay.
And he gets when we meet him, this isn't really a spoiler, he gets shot basically, and we meet him coming back from recovering from being shot in the line of duty. And so he comes back, and then the department head gives him a kind of a special unit that is in charge of cold cases. So it's a brand new part of the department, and they're in the basement, and so it's basically him uncovering a cold case. And so it's very interesting, very good. Matthew Good plays Carl Mork, and it's really beautifully shot. And I feel like it has a lot of twists and turns, and there's a lot of red herrings, and it's a very good mystery.
Okay. How many episodes?
I think it's 9 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it hasn't officially been renewed for season 2, but there is more story to tell. And I won't give anything away, but hopefully it'll come back for season 2. I did hear an interview with Scott Frank in a podcast that I listened to, and he hopes that it comes back for season 2 too, because he wants to spend more time with these characters. So hopefully Netflix will renew it, and we'll get another season of Department Q.
All right.
Very good show if you like detective.
Well, you piqued my interest. Yeah, I like shows like that.
Yeah.
I do. So as long as it's not like too scary. I like thrillers, but not like scary.
I will say there are some moments that are a little bit cringy, but it's not horrifying. I don't think, not in the worst way anyway.
Okay. All right.
So,
well, thanks. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
And it's still not too late if you have a question that you'd like to ask us. It could be like anything. So we talk about beauty, obviously clothes, health and wellness. Now I can start talking about being a BB, that's my name for grandmother. But so anyway, so drop those. Otherwise, we have a couple.
Yes, we do have a couple questions, but just really quickly before we get to the questions that we already have, Karen is saying hi from Dallas.
Hi, Karen.
Very nice to see you. Yeah. Thank you so much. And then we have Leslie, who's new to listening and watching, and she loves the advice.
Welcome.
So thank you so much. That's really sweet, Leslie.
We're glad you stopped by.
Very glad.
Yeah. Well, now we're going to dig into our Q&A. So, and this is our summer edition. So someone asked, what's your go-to outfit? And I just qualified it for the summer because my go-to outfit probably any time of year would be a blazer and denim, but in the summertime. And so the question also went on to say, when you need to look pulled together in 5 minutes, right? Because sometimes we have to get our act together very, very quickly. So my go-to is always linen shorts. I mean, linen anything. It could be linen shorts and linen pants. It could be, or linen shirt, linen pants, linen shirt,
linen
shorts, you know.
Linen skirt.
Yeah, I'm just on board with all the linen. But my summer uniform, really, linen shirt, white shorts, gold jewelry, and then you can't go wrong with a nude sandal. You just can't. So just so easy to put that together, and then I'll just, have a pair of oversized sunnies, and then I am out the door.
Yeah.
And you're there again. Doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take a lot of effort, and then I just have that, and then you can just repeat that, that style uniform. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So how about you, Kelly? What do you have?
I really love matching sets for this exact reason, because matching set, if it's not a dress, a matching set is like the perfect way to like just put something together and not have to worry about whether or not it goes, because they were kind of made to go together. And then just like either a shoe in the same kind of either dark or light color family, or a nude shoe. Like I said before, I don't really wear jewelry, so I'm not really thinking about that so much, but I will, swap out my handbag for something that goes probably with my shoes. So, and those often in the summertime are going to be like woven sandals, something like that. If it's, something like a leather, I'm really into like the flat form sandals in the summertime. So I have a pair of black leather ones of those that I really love. So yeah, just super easy matching sets all the way.
Yeah, I like it. I like that. Yeah, and that really takes all the guesswork out.
It really does.
Yeah, they match.
Yeah.
Okay, what's one trend you're loving right now? And you can even add, if you want to, one you're skipping.
Oh.
So I'm loving the wide leg linen pants. And you can get them cropped, or you can just have them full length. Quince is really a great source for linen. I mean, they just have amazing selection, and they also have amazing quality, and they actually have pretty fast shipping too. Yeah. So definitely Quince. So yeah, so I'm really liking the wide leg linen. You can get a drawstring or just, regular waistband. There again, there's just a lot of choices there. So that's definitely what I'm loving. And then...
what are you skipping?
Well, I could say the micro mini skirt.
That's a given.
And I have to say this because I was just...
I don't think anyone thought you would wear a micro mini skirt on any day.
No, but I'm telling you, okay, so here's the real the real scoop, because I was just over on Tucker Nook, who I love. Tucker Nook, and they have so many great dresses, but there were so many dresses that I would have purchased if they hadn't been micro minis, and they're pretty much micro minis.
Yeah.
So there really is a definitely a trend out there, and but I mean, I had to, scroll by, but I was really disappointed. I'm telling you, there was probably about half a dozen dresses.
Yeah.
That was just like, oh,
if only.
yeah. And I mean, I still wear dresses above my knee, but I don't go much further than that
Micro mini
anymore. But anyway, yeah.
Well,
so
that's where a petite might be able to get away with it, actually, because we could get a regular size micro mini, and it would actually be a bit of a longer skirt.
You could get any of these
bottom.
dresses. I'll show them to you because they were so cute, one after the other. And it was like, no.
Yeah,
so
micro
anyway.
minis.
Sure. What do we have?
What color sandals with black linen pants, full length? I'm 4'10".
Okay.
So, hi, what color sandals with black linen pants? Full length, she's 4'10". All right. Well, go for it. What were you going to say?
I would suggest you could either match your pants, so a black sandal would always go, or you could just go with a nude. I would you could do a nude, or I mean, I love black and brown together.
I do too. That's
you could even go with a beautiful
say.
brown sandal, or the nude is maybe more brown than nude.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I think that either one of those would look very, very chic.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I love black and brown together, because then also you can tie in a woven handbag or a straw handbag, and it's going to go nicely with the brown of your shoes and soften the whole look of the black pants. It depends on what kind of top you're wearing too. Like if you want to go black and white, maybe you want to go monochromatic. You can go a lot of different ways. So it really depends on how you're feeling and what you're putting it with. But brown can definitely go with black.
It's very chic. And then also too, I mean, texture is always good, and we have a lot of fun sandals right now. They could be raffia, or they could even be, maybe a little bit crochet or something like that. Or mesh. You had some mesh, Mary Jane's.
Yeah, mesh are great. There's a lot of crochet, like espadrille sandals out there right now, where the upper is kind of a crocheted or knit. Those are really cute. I have a pair.
But match your pants, or go with a nude, or if you want to be a little bit daring, black and brown's beautiful.
Yeah, so it really is. Animals do it in nature all the time. So it works for us too.
I know, it does. So, any other questions?
One more thing. Okay. We just have a comment from Karen who says, "Y'all have made me a Quince addict. I love everything I've bought from them. Definitely.
They're so good. It's a great, what a great price point. I mean, and for those of you that really want bang for your buck and great quality, Quince is just, I mean, they're killing it. They have, and they have been for several years, and I love their linen. They just, all their linen is
They have great linen. The silk is nice. The cashmere is nice. I think they're also getting a lot more wide with their petite offerings, and even though they don't call them petite, for some of their pants they'll have different inseam lengths that you can choose from. So which is great. But other than that, they're really, it's kind of hit or miss on the petite thing. So you do have to it's a little bit of trial and error. But I do still love Quince. I have many shirts from them, and I do have a few skirts, and I really love them.
Okay. Well, if there are no more questions, we're going to wrap up this week's live, and we will be back next week. We're going to be talking about, since we're based here in the States, we're going to be talking about 4th of July outfits, and we'll have some recipes and just, some fun things. So all things 4th of July. Here's Oscar, who decided to join us and cry. I don't know why he's crying, but... and again, we have all the links down in the description box. Anything that we discussed today, that's down there. And then, of course, we encourage you to hit the subscription box here on YouTube. You can also join us over on the blog. We have a membership over there. I just dropped a summer capsule wardrobe, and now this week I'm showing how to style a few of those outfits. So anyway, lots of ways to follow us. So thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you again next week.